Recording. Hello, everybody. This is Slim again here on Substack. And just had to come back again. And hopefully, the Wi Fi will be pretty decent. Uh, it's been kind of difficult on this particular platform. I might have to move to another that has a stronger signal so you can have a more complete uh, recording here. But anyway, I did a video earlier about the Asian situations we've been having here about a boycott. But then while I was doing that, I saw that breaking news came up about a peace deal that has been agreed upon between Iran and the United States, President Trump and Pakistan, who is the mediator, also confirmed that a deal has been put together and official signing will be on Juneteenth. And the deal also includes Lebanon. Now, if you all have been following this whole thing, because Israel is in the mix, and that's one of the things that Israel didn't want a part of the peace deal, or Lebanon being in there, because they felt like their conflict was between them and Lebanon. And but anyway, my vague understanding of this whole thing going on. One thing that gets me is the timing of this. Now we've heard many times. I think somebody recorded, one of the news outlets recorded how many times President Trump has mentioned about a peace deal has been agreed upon and should be signed soon. So this last time he said it, we said, okay, well, we heard that before. But now it's coming out that, you got different sides, and now Iran has confirmed too that a deal has been agreed upon and yet to be signed on the 19th. They called it a memorandum of understanding. Trump and Pakistan calls it a peace deal. I guess it's the same thing, but my understanding of memorandum of understanding is just, well, anyway, maybe y'all can look that up and find out. But getting back to the timing now, this announcement comes out on, he's celebrating his birthday and having this grudge match at the White House, supposedly celebrating 200 years of the United States going into the weekend, all week. But a lot of focus is on his birthday and celebrating him. And here comes the breaking news and all the confirmations on this day, on him celebrating his birthday. Um, the timing, you couldn't get better timing than this. And I guess the odd piece out is how Israel is going to fit into all this, because even today with the announcement, Israel had launched an attack on Iran, where they said Trump had a strong talk with the prime minister of Israel. But, we'll see how all this comes out, the time. And I guess anytime it happens, if this is the real deal, I guess it's a good thing and it's going to immediately affect the market. I mean, you can see the market tomorrow immediately rise, which it happened every time he announced that. And but now we do have three different factions confirming a signing date on the 19th. Iran, the mediator in Pakistan, and Trump. So we'll see what happens and see what happens with the odd country out. The odd country out.
Analyst, author, and negotiator, and a senior fellow.
I'm going to play this, a little bit of this part of the BPC news. Sometimes, it's good to hear news from somewhere else like that than because it's all kind of confusing with some of the news outlets over here, who controls it and what they let come out. And I have a strong mistrust for some of the, more so for the independents that are out there from formerly from these news outlets, you know, but some of the other ones that have been taken over by millionaires and firing people who want to speak truth or don't tell lies. So I see stuff every day from these different outlets, and I just don't know who to trust. So, uh, got this little thing from BBC, and well, they were talking about it, but they have a seemingly an expert on that. Let's hear a little bit of what he has to say.
For the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, focusing on US foreign policy. Thanks for being with us. Obviously, this is going to be hailed as a big success. Is it?
You know, I'd like to break open the champagne bottles now, and I think it's good that at least for the next 60 days, assuming each side maintains its commitments, that the shooting is going to stop. There'll be no more U.S. strikes on Iran and no more Iranian strikes, presumably on shipping in through the straits or
We
on
still
Gulf
have a
states.
60-day
But as a longtime
period
negotiator,
after the signing.
I want to see the text, and I find it quite curious. This is a very interesting and intriguing process by which this has been announced.
Yeah.
I mean, first you had the
What's in the
Pakistani
details of
mediator,
this
Qataris chimed
peace
in, and the
plan?
president went on social media. Then the deputy foreign minister, apparently, haven't heard any additional authoritative confirmation from the Iranians. The question is the text, because every issue in the text, including the confidence builders, that is to say, under what circumstances will the straits be open, and under what circumstances would the American naval blockade be eased? That's going to be proved to be a headache, not just because you've got 1,000 ships stacked up, and shipping companies know how to do this. You can get 100 plus through each day. This is going to be a long-term process, and if it's
See, that's one of the things I'm, not concerned about, but because it's going to go off like knowing Trump, he's going to come out and say he's solved everything. He stopped the war. This is just one of the 10,000 wars he had stopped, and it's going to be all like roses and cream, and it's my birthday. Celebrate me and celebrate what I've done. This has been a very serious situation, and it should be handled that way. But we're going to have to deal with all the perp and pump and circumstance that goes along with this announcement and his already planned circus of events for the 250-year celebration of the United States, not the United Trump. But that's what we're going to see. But I hope this deal is legit and something that's going to follow through to get the prices down eventually. It's not going to happen tomorrow. You're going to have people jumping around celebrating like tomorrow I'm going to go and fill my tank up because the gas prices are going to drop. The only thing you're going to see that any kind of significant change the next day, tomorrow on Monday, is the stock market. Who reacts, can react on just an announcement alone. But it takes a while for all these other things to happen. So, and then it's going to be within that period that they have this agreement. Like he mentioned, 60 days or whatever the time period is. Once they sign that peace deal or memorandum of understanding, the way Iran coined it, and this is not, something that says, okay, the war's over. They said they stop fighting each other. And then the big negotiations come to, are you going to make a bomb or not? Are you going to stop fighting Israel, or will Israel stop bombing you and trying to take over you and Lebanon, especially with Lebanon being a part of this peace deal? so Israel could mess that up by just sending a bomb over to Lebanon. Why they have signed a peace deal, which includes Lebanon. So it's Israel could be sort of like a loose cannon in this deal, and hopefully they will. Well, I can't say that because they time after time, like I mentioned earlier, they bombed today. But okay, well, anyway, we'll see what happens. As Trump always says, we'll see what happens. Uh, it's just crazy the timing. Sometimes serious things can happen, and you you kick the can that be wrapped up in a pretty bold package. It all happens on the time you're celebrating the country, you're celebrating a certain person's birthday. You have all these activities planned. You know, of course, people upset, so you want people to feel some sort of relief so they can attend my activities and feel like everything is hunky dory. So let's make this announcement now, because people are not feeling, coming to any kind of celebration I'm having but with this announcement, you just keep announcing it, and then finally say, okay, all right, on this day, we have come to an agreement. On this day, we have come to an agreement, and everybody is, the moderator has made sure he waited until this day to make the announcement. Iran has waited till this day to confirm that the peace deal happened. But, I could be totally wrong. They've been building up to this for a long time, and sometimes things happen. I don't think so. I think, it was definitely planned. It might have been a situation where
Performative base.
where a peace deal was really close to being signed once you get all the things out. But I truly believe it was rushed to this point, to get to this point on this day to make that announcement. And we'll work out the details later. And just like you heard the gentleman say, I'm gonna play a little bit more of this expert here from the BBC on the BBC channel and see what he has to say.
There's to say, if the Iranian way if they do what they say they're supposed to do, it's critically important, I think, to see the actual document. But again, I don't want to naysay this. It's clearly a framework which will buy the time and space to determine whether or not all the loose ends, sanctions relief, unseizing of Iranian assets, what to do about the highly enriched uranium, the 900 pounds, what to do about the 11 tons of uranium enriched since the U.S. left the JCPOA, what to do about mutual security guarantees, and then what to do about Iran's nuclear infrastructure. All of these things contain a universe of detail and a complexity which is going to have to be joined. So again, I think we'll see how the negotiations unfold. And then, of course, there's Lebanon. The Iranians did not respond when they said they would. What price did they extract from Donald Trump?
So I guess the devil is in the details. So you see what I'm saying now? Just get to the point where we can make an announcement that the deal has been reached. But all these other things are going to have to be worked out in order for this to be a permanent thing. I even saw someplace where they were announcing that it was a permanent deal, but this is not a permanent deal. This is a memorandum of understanding, I believe. Peace deal it sounds it sounds better saying a peace deal. It sounds to everybody hearing this, oh, a peace deal. That means the war's over. No, they still going to be on guard because I'm sure you know that over the years they don't trust each other, and you know, but you need these kind of deals, and you know it's going to be in Switzerland where historically a lot of deals have been signed in Switzerland. Switzerland was always known as a neutral country where uh, battling countries could go and be on neutral ground, peaceful ground, and settle their differences by making signings and public signings and things. So, historically, going to Switzerland to do this thing is historic. So, but it's not a permanent deal. It's something that uh, uh, keeps everybody quiet, keeps everybody from bombing each other and killing people, innocent people. Of course, the Iranians, the people are ecstatic. What they're going through over there, not knowing when they're going to be bombed, when they're going to be hit by Israel or the United States. Um, and we here in the United States um, need some relief as well. You know, we are suffering from this war, and you call it a conflict if you want to, but into war. And a battle is something that happens one time, and it, a war is something until all sides decide to end this thing. And so we'll see. We'll see where it is, and you know, I want peace. Um, I'm just concerned about the timing of all of this. So I guess anytime you get any kind of talk about peace is the right time. But knowing how Trump operates and looks for the attention for him, uh, and if it all comes together, a good day for all concerned. Us here in the United States, the people in Iran, and other parts of the world that mixed in, like Lebanon, in this conflict. And you know, we have to be able to show the world that peace can be achieved. Peace can be achieved, but we just happen to be led by someone that has proved time and time to be a certain way. Uh, I just want this peace to happen. Regardless of how I feel, I want it to be something that's true and will be permanent. But I'm just not going to get all excited and um, run down the street singing and turning flips until after this understanding has been signed, that the follow through is more permanent as well. And that's going to be some tough negotiations because everything else is still up in the air. You have two strong nations, two proud nations that want to continue the way they have always continued, whether it's good for the people or not. Uh, Sometimes changes like that have to come from within. And because once we're seeing that once we get involved or other countries get involved into another country, um, it's not the best thing. But I see what's being talked about here. There's some places you can't let them have nuclear capabilities. But, you know, can you really stop that? Can you really stop that? Or do people have to die in order for you to stop that? But I guess more people could die if someone gets those capabilities and misuse it. So it's a very complicated situation. I don't know all the particulars about it. I'm trying to learn more and more about it, but on the surface, all I can say is to people like me that are watching and trying to keep up what's going on. Just keep paying attention, and just sometimes you have to read between the lines as well to make sure that you're getting the right news. You have to look at different sources because you have companies out there that uh, are not dedicated to giving you the news like it is, like Walter Cronkite used to say, and that's the way it is. Yeah, I remember that being a young kid. That's the way it is. And with him, during those times, that's the way it was. He gave it to you straight, and you just can't trust that these days with some news outlets. Uh, Especially when you have people in charge. And well, anyway, I'm not going to get in. That's a whole nother subject. I'll be I'll be going now, and take care. And thanks for watching. And we'll be back here on the Slim Nation here on Suspect.